perhaps a language and literature pondering. As this is a pondering terminology, adopted versus adoptive. So adopted is somebody or something that is taken in a parental duty by somebody's, and then the people who do the adopting are the adoptive family of the person or thing adopted. And so if I'm Tanis, she, her, hers of Seattle, and it is Wednesday, 29 July 2026, and if I am living with my people who adopted me, I am their adopted daughter, and they are my adoptive parents. Now, I don't know, it could be, how often do I see my adoptive family? Even living with them, I'm approximately 33 years of age. Like, for all I know, my adoptive dad is in Second Life with some of his friends, maybe both parents, his friends, and he's bitter and won't own up to, he kicked me out as a teenager, and it's one of the things he stews about. And then he has another bitter one where my adoptive mother called the police on me when I was living in California, and he wants that moment to be his, and he's on the couch, and he's waiting for my soulmate to come and move me in with him, or them, and he wants to say that my adoptive mom actually called the police on him, kind of deny that moment for me, and because he's bitter, because he wants it as negotiation or whatever in their relationship. It's like, so I was like, in that case, I only see one of my adoptive parents, my mom. So far as I know, it's both of my adoptive parents, my dad and my mom, however. And I think for the one, so if I live with them and I was adopted at like 3 months of age, there's a little bit of, it was, if so, then it was a closed adoption. I haven't ever been told that I'm adopted. And there's a little bit of a, family is already something that we don't get to choose. So like my blood/birth family coming in would be that would be the one I didn't choose. So there's a little bit how to balance the, there's my real family. This is the adoptive family is, I don't know how I feel about having another family I didn't choose. That's not normal. And there should be some restorative justice there. And I was like, well, maybe restorative justice is, let's say I have a sibling, an adoptive sibling, and they have like a look-alike, or like they're in Second Life or something, and so somebody lives their life for them some of the time, and I've been interacting with that person for like years and possibly over a decade. And I'm like, well, maybe if I do a graduate school, if I go to graduate school in Greece for, like Greek language and literature or something, maybe that look-alike is like, she pulls out her ID for her real name and goes, my name is actually like this, and I've always had this dream of going to Greece, and can I go with you? And I'm like, in my graduate school attempts, and I go, well, I'm scheduled, I'm leaving in 9 days for like 2 to 3 months. Do you want to go? And she's like, okay. So she comes, and I was like, how much more time do I have in my degree? How much money do I have? Does she enjoy herself? Does she want to be a live-in reader or something? Like, do I have funds where I could pay her for that? If she enjoyed it, it's kind of a restorative justice of me getting to, learn about the person who I've been interacting with, who was like the third type, or instead of like cutting a family out, including the lookalikes at their real name space as well. And especially when you guys go, why would you want a live-in reader? Well, I started college in August 2008, approximately. I graduated 2010 with an Associate of Arts and Sciences with a primary focus of mathematics, secondary focus of multicultural studies. I graduated in 2015 with a Bachelor of Science in Geology and Geophysics with a minor in mathematics, and then I quit with no degree in graduate school after over 4.00 years in graduate school for geophysics. So August 2008 to October 2019, no years off, all full-time schooling. So that would be, what, over 10.00, over 11.00 years of college without a break. And I go to graduate school in Greek language and literature. I was like, a live-in reader would help with just the basic, helping me remember that I'm in graduate school for language and literature. Plus, I have a commitment to, you're like, well, so then what's in it for you? Yeah, maybe a commitment to form, like part of the like contract of that job, so to speak, would be like reading physical texts. All right, that would help even more with my memory and helping remind me what I'm in graduate school for. Language and literature, books, physical texts. Anyway, so it was like perhaps an adoptive family approach is, for me, I'm only going to upload a video a week or something. And I don't do that, at least not anymore. So, or 3 videos a year. So I was like, maybe more instead of less per my own track record, so to speak.